Hello YouTube and everybody at home. This is my plan with me for the week of September 12th. The cover of my planner here shows the background image that I used for my blog, mydiyadventure.com. It turns out this lake is actually located in Ukraine, which was kind of an interesting surprise for me when I found the stock photo that was used for the Wix editor. So this was my planner last week. I used sort of a airmail kind of theme. I had some airmail washi tape and some stamps that kind of looked like postage stamps, so that was a lot of fun, I thought. Taking out the plastic pocket here where I keep some post-it notes. I'm going to move that forward. My planner came from personalplanner.com. It's a Swedish company, so it did take a little time for this to arrive, but I could not be happier. It is beautiful. The paper is really actually pretty nice. It's a nice thick paper, so I don't experience any bleed through. The pen I use is the Sharpie pen here, which also is specifically designed to not do any bleed through, so that's terrific. I have little post-it notes in on each day, basically just because I don't want to write anything in until I actually sit down and do my planner for the week and put in all my decorations and all that. So basically the post-it notes, I put them in about a week before, and throughout the previous week I would keep writing things in as they occurred to me. So what you see me doing here is uploading this video that you're watching right now, which I'm going to be putting on YouTube, and then there will be a link to my to this video on my blog as well. Anywhere that you see Cersei dress, what that means is that I am actually sewing a dress to look like one of Cersei Lannister's dresses. And the reason for this is I am going to a Renaissance fair on the 24th. It's called King Richard's Fair. It's in Carver, Massachusetts. It is my first time ever attending a Renaissance fair, and I don't care how nerdy it sounds, I am beyond thrilled. I am so excited to go to this. Anyway, Tuesday, craft night. Some of my girlfriends and I, we all get together on Tuesday nights and we work on our various crafts. I'm going to be knitting. I think two of my friends will be working on their quilts. I have another friend who is learning crochet. She's doing amigurumi right now. After craft night, we typically go poke hunting around town, so that will also be quite fun. There's a lot of poke stops that we're going to hit. There are some different Pokemon that I find in North Adams, Massachusetts, which is where we will be, versus my own hometown. So it is definitely cool if you're playing Pokemon Go to spend some time in other towns, because you'll find some cool things. I'm also going to be working on a blog post. It's for something I actually make quite a lot, litter box deodorizer. So there's not going to be a video for that, but there will be a blog post, so stay tuned if you are interested in that. I find it actually is pretty effective, and my cats do not have any kind of reaction at all, so terrific stuff. So just working on my week here. The blog will have already been written by the time Wednesday comes, so at that point all I have to do is upload. And then of course the Cersei dress, gotta keep working on that. There is a ton of work that goes into sewing a dress of that size. There is so much fabric, just the sheer amount of fabric is insane, and I can't even imagine how women wore these things literally day in and day out, you know, for so many hundreds of years. It baffles me. So Thursday, pretty simple. I'm going to clean the bathroom, and I'm going to, once again, work on the Cersei dress, because it never ends. Friday. I actually am taking a break from the Cersei dress on Friday. Friday nights I like to just kind of chill, have a glass of wine. I don't know if Bill Maher is going to be back yet on Friday. If Bill Maher is on, obviously I will be watching that. again with a glass of wine. But the main thing I really wanted to set aside some time on Friday to do was Star Wars The Old Republic. That is my game. That's my jam. And I don't get to play it very often anymore, I'm finding, because before I started working on the Cersei dress, I was knitting this, I guess it's called a hooded cowl. It was for a friend of mine for her birthday, and her birthday was this past Monday. So finally got done with that, just to now have to start on this Cersei dress. But as of the 24th, I will be free and clear, no things that I have to get done like that, so it'll give me a chance to start working on some polymer clay charms or things like that, things that I want to put into my Etsy shop. So weekend, not a ton to do. We are still bringing in fresh vegetables out of my mom's garden, so I'll be helping with that, and of course working on the Cersei dress. My cousin's daughter is having a game here in my town in Hoosick Falls, so I'm going to be going to that. It's very exciting. And then Fear the Walking Dead Sunday night. So for the most part, everything is basically in here. At this point, this is where I'm going to start decorating. I still have a couple of basically my free time things that I want to put in, but those will go in the lower half of my planner, whereas the top portion is really for the stuff that is more important and like basically has to get done. So this right here is a Tim Holtz washi tape. I actually bought 8 different Tim Holtz washies about a week ago, I think, at Michael's. I was so pleased. I got a great deal on them, but they are adorable. This one in particular, just I thought it was just really, really classy looking, so I popped that in just on the Monday through Friday days. And it's a nice thin washi, so it doesn't take up a whole lot of room, but even if it had been a thick washi, I think it would have been just fine. Snipping off the little extra here so it stops at the line. There we go. And getting my pen again for Star Wars The Old Republic. It's an amazing game. It's very much story driven, which I really, really liked. I used to play World of Warcraft
what's
years
the extended
ago,
forecast?
I stopped gaming
Here's the weather
basically
in Hoosick
altogether
Falls
for a
the
while.
next 7 days. Monday, 71 degrees and lots of
I
sun.
recently picked it back
Tuesday,
up about a year ago
79
for Star
degrees
Wars
and
The Old
mostly sunny
Republic,
weather.
and I have
Wednesday,
had so much
77
fun.
degrees and thunderstorms.
This is the point where I
Thursday,
asked
66
Alexa,
degrees and
my
lots of sun.
Amazon Echo,
Friday, 71
to
degrees
tell
and
me what the
mostly
weather
sunny
was,
weather.
and she went through
Saturday,
the extended forecast for
74
me.
degrees and
It was
cloudy
terrific.
skies. Sunday, 76 degrees and rainy weather.
Definitely makes life much easier having an Amazon Echo. Especially planning. Basically every morning I can ask her, what's the weather going to be like? Even if it was different, you know, originally when I did my planner, she will tell me what the current forecast is for that. So it's just really, really nice. Later on in the plan with me, I actually asked her to tell me a random fact as well. So that went into a little text bubble that you'll see later on. So now I'm just putting in my little squares. This planner is actually quite small, which is kind of what I wanted, because I wanted to be able to take it in my purse with me, and not all of my purses are terribly large, so having one that's on the smallish side does limit you as far as what you can do for decorating it. For example, I couldn't do all the Erin Condren stickers and things like that that people are really into right now, but I can do little things like this. So putting in my little check boxes for right now. I decided to go with boxes this week. Last week I went with hearts. They were very cute, but I am quite a fan of squares as well. And this was a new ink as well. This particular one is a color box. It's called Petal Point. I absolutely love these. They're 8 different inks all together in one, basically one little holder. This particular one is the Brocade kit, and it's a sort of purpley color. I quite like it. It's one of the chalk inks, so they're very opaque. Even if you were to stamp them over something dark, you'd still be able to see them. My planner's starting to run outside the area that the camera can see, so I do apologize for that. While I'm filming, I don't have the ability to actually watch what's happening because of the setup I'm using for my camera on the tripod, so I did my best to keep it in the shot as much as possible, but there will be little times like this where it moves out. So what I'm doing here is I had the idea that if I were to stamp in some little things using just regular black ink, little pictures basically that I can later color in with some colored pencils, I would be more likely to actually open my planner and look at it from time to time, because that's a problem that I have. I decided that I'm going to commit to planning out my week and I want to stick to it. I want to make sure I get these things done. And yet, even after making this decision and trying to be diligent about it, I discovered I am still really awful at sticking to it. So I'm going to try to put in these little things that I can color, and hopefully while I'm at work, or when I first get home from work or something like that, I can notice the little coloring things, and that will keep me opening the planner up. And here's another one, a little fat cat, totally adorable. I actually have 2 gray tabby cats. I thought it was nice with that little mouse on the champagne cork, because I mean, champagne corks and me are like BFFs. And cats and mice, not so much BFFs, but they do go together. So I am just sort of inking up here. And I promise I do eventually move the planner back into the shot. It won't even take too long for that to happen. I happen to own a red laptop. That's why I stamped this little guy in red. I'm just throwing in some icons right now. Wednesday I planned on uploading that blog about Litterbox deodorizer. And the reason I'm kind of delaying it by a day is just so that I have time to think about it for like a day after I write it and decide if I want to make any last minute changes before the blog goes live, and then I can definitely do that. The upload should actually happen automatically. I will schedule it for Wednesday, but I just like having that extra time to give it some thought. And this is a little YouTube icon because we are putting this video on YouTube, so why not? Do love that little play button. I'll also put a link to the Etsy shop where I purchased some of my little icon stamps. If you notice, I got a little red ink here on Tuesday, which drove me insane. I tried to wipe it off a little bit with a baby wipe and it didn't work. So the hope was that once it dried, it would not look so terrible. And it did turn out to be the case. It was not as horrible looking when it was dry as it looks right here, but Still drove me nuts the entire time I was doing this. There's not really much that I could do about it then or now. So I guess we all just have to live with it. So more little words from my little stamp kits. I have several stamp kits that I'm using. Some are from Ms. Kim on Etsy. She is fantastic. I absolutely love the stamps that I got from her. They're really great quality. They make a nice crisp image. Very, very happy with those. I have some others that are, I think, Lawn Fawn. So I will put links to all of them that I can actually find links to. I know some of them I bought in stores, so I may not be able to find them, but if I can get you a link, I will get you a link. I promise. It'll be in the comment section below. I don't know if you noticed my ring there. It's the Empire symbol from Star Wars. That's right, I'm a Sith. Because why wouldn't you be? So that one was basically just reminding me to send a little email to my followers on my blog, letting them know that a new blog has gone live. I'm finding that it is important to definitely keep people appraised on social media anytime that you've done a blog post. I'm finding so far Facebook seems to be where people will find my blog the easiest. I do have Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram accounts, also YouTube. I'm just reminding myself that I do want to get that blog scheduled for Wednesday, but not uploaded on Tuesday. That'll give me time to think about any last minute changes I want to make. The whole reason I basically wanted to start planning was because when I started my blog, I thought I would just, be so excited to do it that I'd, go in and upload really, really often and all this stuff. And then life happens and you go, wow, I totally did not at all make time for my blog this week. So I ended up, while I was making that hooded cowl for my friend for her birthday, I basically didn't post for a month solid. I just knit like nonstop. And it's really silly because, there were times I could have made time for it had I actually tried to manage my time better. Oh man, and I'm so sorry about this shot. The planner is even further out of the frame. This is awful. Sorry, I am terrible at this. I'm the worst. Anyway, yeah, what I was saying. If you don't make time, and oh, there we go. See, I told you I'd get it back into the shot. If you don't make time and decide, I am going to commit to doing this, you are going to fail, basically. Just because, other things are going to come up and you're going to find yourself at the end of the week going, where did my week go? And why did I not get any of this done? So, yeah. And I'm also terrible about cleaning. That's why I put clean bathroom on Thursday because, it's easy for me to remember if it's sort of, one of the rooms I sit in, like all the time, like the living room. The bathroom you visit, a few times a day and you're only in there for a couple minutes at a time and then you're out and that's my problem if I'm out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. And I know Star Wars The Old Republic is not a console game, but this was really the only game icon stamp that I had, so we're going with it. I think everybody gets the idea, right? It's a game, and I intend to play it for hours on Friday. And it will be a lot of fun. Because it always is, really. Yep. Post. Need to post. And here is where my camera decided to shut itself off, and I had to start up a new section of video. Posting on Monday as well. Gotta upload this video. And the reason I'm putting in a little camera stamp here for malt vinegar salt, I don't actually intend to make that recipe when I make the blog post about it. But I do have a batch that I made recently, so I'm going to take a picture of that little jar and put that on my recipe. That stuff, I have to tell you, is amazing. Anytime I'm eating French fries, there is nothing I want more than malt vinegar salt for it. So, more little word things. It's so much fun to try to stamp around the metal spiral of this little planner. If I was smarter and if I planned better, I would probably have moved that little cling stamp so that it would not have had to cross over the spiral line. I'm not terribly great at this yet. Hopefully I get better. Oh god, I hope I get better. Because I mean, you can see I'm getting out of the shot again. Still haven't learned my lesson, clearly. You can kind of see over on the left-hand side, that's one of my color box pedal point ink pads with the 8 different colors. I used 2 of them. One of them's like a primary color. The other one was that brocade, which is a bit more muted, more metallics going on and things like that. And that brocade one is one of the chalk inks, so it is very, very opaque. The primary one, not so opaque, but I still love it. I also use just a standard black because I do like to use a black pen as well when I'm actually writing out my planner, which is odd. I never actually used to like black until I got this Sharpie pen, and now I absolutely love it. Maybe it's just because it's a really dark black. It's super, super deep. I really, really like that about it. Very pigmented. I kind of like to try a fountain pen as well. I have a friend who has recently started experimenting with a fountain pen, and he's very, very hooked on it, so I'm experiencing pen envy. I may have to get one of my own. I used to have one back when I was a teenager. I don't honestly know what happened to it, though, to be perfectly frank with you. Probably just disappeared in the years of college and becoming an adult and moving and things like that happened. Okay, back to the beginning of the week. Oh, I love it. It doesn't stamp correctly. Luckily, I chose black, and I can just fill it in with my pen. Oh, I don't know if you noticed this table that my planner is sitting on. I built this. My mother and I actually built this. I had a folding table that I loved the size of it, but I hated the table. It was sort of this heavy cardboard kind of material, and over the top of it was this layer of vinyl, and the vinyl actually had this kind of padding underneath it. It was horrible. I tried to use it a lot for sewing, and I was constantly pinning things into the vinyl. It was the worst. I decided I have to have a solid top table. But I spent, $40 on this table brand new, and I was not in a hurry to spend even more now for one that was better and had a solid top. So basically what we did is we removed the top from the table and we replaced it with planks of wood that we bought at Home Depot that I sanded and stained and cut. Oh, I got to use power tools. It was so much fun. I should actually show you a before and after. You know what? I will add that to the end of this video. So that'll be the very last thing that you see, is the before and after picture of this table. But yeah, I got to varnish the whole thing, and I could not be more pleased. The color came out gorgeous. I'm very, very happy with it. So knitting is something I like to do a lot of times right before bed. It just helps me relax. Sometimes I will put on music, or I might listen to an audiobook and just knit for a little while. I just really, really like it. And I would actually like to go for a walk on Monday and hopefully catch some Pokemon. Definitely need to stock up on Pokeballs. I know I'll get a chance to do that on Tuesday, if nothing else. But I very much would like to make going for a walk something I do. I do have to be a little careful about the amount of walking that I do right now. I have a heel spur, so I am trying to walk as much as possible until I get to that point where it hurts so bad I want to die. So I'm trying to walk as much as I can before that point actually occurs. I know Tuesday I'm going to overdo it. I always do. Tuesdays when I do a poke hunting. So we're basically like almost done here. I have a few more things I want to add in though. I'm going to do some more big stamps for coloring. Because like I said, I think that if I have that in there available as like a therapeutic kind of thing, because I work in a call center, so sometimes when you're on the phone with a customer, it is nice to have something to occupy your hands and kind of be cathartic like that. Wow, this is a whole lot of nothing happening right now. Yeah, like I said, I'm so good at this. Oh, man. Here we go. Let's get a stamp in. Oh, yeah, that stamp was super awesome. It is kind of adorable, though. It's a little
crickets is so closely related to the temperature that you can use them as a thermometer. Dole Bear's Law tells you how to
so
do the
here is where
calculation.
I asked my Amazon Echo to tell
Alexa,
me a random fact.
tell me a random
week
fact.
I asked her for a joke. This week I
Christopher
said,
Columbus
give me a
is
random
known for
fact.
discovering the
So she
Americas in
did,
1492.
and I put in that little
However,
text bubble
Icelandic
over the top
explorer
of the
Leif
hedgehog
Erikson landed in
on
Newfoundland
Monday.
in the 11th century, and there were millions of people
And the little
living there
fact
before
that she
them.
gave me was that more than half of all the bones
Alexa,
in an
tell me a
adult
random fact.
human are in the hands and
More
feet.
than half of all the bones in an
Which I
adult
thought was
human are in the
interesting,
hands
so I
and
said,
feet.
all right, I'll put it in my planner. Just because I know other people are going to be looking at my planner. I leave it open on my desk sometimes at work. Sometimes I just show it to people. Like last week I had possibly the world's lamest joke written into my planner, which I will share with you now. What it said was, when is a door not a door? When it is a jar. Har har. That was another awesome Amazon Echo joke. And the funny thing is, when I asked her for a joke, I had to go through like 6 or 7 until I got one that I wasn't totally embarrassed to put in my planner. And that's the one that didn't embarrass me. So that tells you how bad the rest of them all were. As far as the meal planner section on the first half of the week, I don't exactly know yet what I want to do for meals this week. Honestly, I had given it no thought at the point where I actually sat down to do my planner. So I think I'm just gonna kind of wing it this week. I just don't really have any idea what I'm gonna do with that. So here I am trying to add one more stamp. Oh, didn't that work out great? Yeah. That was awesome. Ink had basically completely dried. So what I'm doing right now is wiping off the stamp. We're going to try that one again. Here we go. Super inky little stamp color. Boom. Oh, and only half of it. 'Cause I'm awesome. And rather than try to go in there again, I just decided I'm gonna freehand this guy. I can make hedgehog quills, right? Yeah, sure. That can totally happen. Why not? And there's this little face. And his little arm. His hand holding the heart. He is super cute. I have to give him that. He's adorable. I totally drew that heart wrong though. Definitely not pointing down correctly. So yeah, I'm hoping that actually posting this video online will make me feel like I'm more accountable to actually get all these things done. And sort of encourage me to actually get off my butt and do all of them. The Cersei dress in particular, like that has to happen. So as soon as I'm done with the narration on this video, basically that's what I'm switching to, and I will be doing that for the rest of the night, including the entire time that I'm watching Fear the Walking Dead and all that. So fun. Because I'm actually filming this on a Sunday. Adding more little stamps. Because it is the dinner section down there, so I'm leaving it so that I could write some stuff in. I could, like if it occurs to me to actually plan a dinner. A little chef's hat. Whee. Because, I mean, if I was going to write in a dinner, it'd probably just be like meat ingredient. I doubt I would need the entire space, so I think my little hedgehog guy's okay over there where he is. I do really love that fat cat, though. It's so cute. I'm going to give it a pink nose so that it looks like my baby kitty. That's actually her name, Baby Kitty. I am so creative when it comes to naming my pets. So creative. Oh, you know what I forgot to put on here is give Emily a bat. Emily's my beagle. And that's the name that the shelter told me she had when I adopted her. Silly me. I thought she actually, would come to that name. No. It took me a whole week to figure out she doesn't know her name. I could have called her anything. if you saw me put that green leaf there, it's because it's September, but the leaves are all really still very green here. So I figure as the weeks go on and the color of the leaves changes, that's when you're going to start to see me change my leaf color to maybe yellow, orange, red, brown, things like that. So right now what I'm doing is considering what I'm going to do with the rest of this empty space. And one of the things that I liked was my Tim Holtz washi. One of them looks kind of like the little paper ring on cigars, like on a little cigar band. So I used that like a sticker, and I put that down on Thursday, I think it was. Yes, let me do that in a second. And I'm also using some of the stickers that came with my planner from Personal Planner. So I put run on Monday. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Anytime I try to run these days, my lungs feel like they're going to explode. So that's not so likely to happen, but Friday, because it wasn't obvious from, the word Friday, but whatever. Hey, it's my plan with me. I can do it however I want. I do kind of wish I could, put in all the stickers like the Erin Condren style, but it seems, I don't know, it seems like a lot of money to spend to do stickers like that every single week. So I kind of like the idea of stamps just because they're reusable as many times as I want to reuse it, assuming I take good care of them. Oh, and here's my little cigar kind of thingy. I just think that's really cool. I don't know why. I quite like it. So we are rapidly approaching the end of this video. Leave me a comment below to let me know what you think of it. I know I'm really, really terrible at all of this, but I'm hoping to get better. I actually kind of like the random craziness of it. I think it's a lot of fun. I like all the different colors I've used. Anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know if you think if this idea of mine of, having the things that I can color in is a good idea. Very curious to know what your thoughts are. So, washi tape. Very nice. Love it. If you notice, I have Labor Day and the Renaissance Fair circle. Ren Fair. I love that little inchy post-it stamp thing. Terrific. Gotta work on the Cersei dress for the Ren Fair. Man, time is ticking down, let me tell you. Well, thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Bye.